Did you have interactions with early on with Anthony before shows? Like, were you guys, because it seems like you're both kind of history buffs. You love storytelling. You love food. A lot of similarities between what you guys have done. So did you have a pretty good relationship with him in the beginning, or like did it develop? I know you ended up having a fantastic relationship with him, but
when we'd been in a lot of the same places doing a lot of the same things. We wound up, before my first season aired, we wound up doing promos together because the network knew we were going to be back to back. So we went out on this, we actually shot it on the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
One cold fall day in New York, very windy. And there's a crew, okay, you're each going to say this, you're going to walk towards us, and you've done enough TV, it's like, okay, one of you speak, now the other one speak, now you both speak, now you both walk 3 times, not talking, now you walk, he looks at you, now you walk, you look at him, so they can edit together this little promo. We're standing waiting for the first cue. We're on our mark. They're changing batteries or something like that, checking sound, whatever. And he turns to me, he says, "Are you excited about this?" And meaning the new show coming out, I said, "Absolutely." And I honestly forget how I used the word, but the word integrity came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And I just never forget it because, he's much taller than me,
Sure.
and he had these big hands. And he grabbed the pea coat that I was in, and he pulled me close to his face. And he said, the moment you signed that TV contract, all your fucking integrity went out the window. Yeah. And all I heard that was action, and I had to turn around and, and it was such a quintessential Tony moment. We wound up like 6 months later talking and deciding to do a show where the first half hour was me alone. The second half hour was him in my second half of my hour. Then the first half hour of his show was me in it, and then the last half hour was him alone. So it was a TV show that overlapped 2 hours.
Yeah.
No reservations, bizarre foods, mashup, where we shared
an hour in the middle. I feel like I remember this mashup.
It was the highest rated, at the time, I think still actually, I think it was the highest rated hour of TV Travel Channel ever had. Monster hit.
Yeah.
And because the shows were really successful, and we shot it in New York, which was the city we were both born in. We had a blast doing it. It was super fun. And we were all excited to do it again. And this is why the people who make the decisions sometimes just perplex me. It was like, okay, that was literally record setting. We're not going to do it again. And it was something we always joked about for a long, long time. And yes, over the course of the many years, our friendship deepened. My funniest memories are the phone ringing early in the morning on a Sunday. He would be watching, I could hear him. He was lying in bed. He was watching TV with his daughter. And all I would hear him do is swearing at me quietly.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want her to hear. And I would just laugh because I knew what it was. She was like, "Daddy, I want to watch Bizarre Foods."
Yeah.
And the fact that she wanted to watch my show and not his,
totally.
He'd just be like, the vitriol. And what was great was that my son, when he was that age, couldn't care less about me.
Yeah.
He's like, "Daddy, what about the guy who smokes the cigarettes?
Right.
He's so good. Like, I want to watch that show." And the same thing was going on in my house. And I remember the day down in Florida when we were both down there, and we both had our kids, and we're like, "Oh, we have to have the kids meet."
Yeah.
And watching them run around and play and eat ice cream, and they're the same age, and I think they were like 7 or something at the time, is one of my great memories. It was one of those just sort of like perfect days that I'll never forget. Easily the most magnetic and amazing man I can recall ever knowing.
Did he? I mean, I think he was pretty. Obviously amazing. He was one of my idols for sure. But did he ever open up to you about his struggles? Do you feel like
yes and no?
Yeah. He was kind of quiet about it in the public eye. Correct?
Well, he was also quiet with me, I think, for one very important reason, and that is that I was I was building my ladder. I
Yeah.
had, all, and in retrospect, the great irony and the most sorrowful point of my relationship with him is these days, because of all the people in his life,
Yeah.
and he had very, very, very close relationships with some close friends of mine.
Yeah.
And, the regret that I have of not pushing it more with him, because I'm a suicide survivor.
Yeah.
I'm an recovering alcoholic and
Yeah.
drug addict. I had the same drug of choice that
Yep.
he had. And on and on and on. And so there's a voice always in my head that said, what more could I have done?
Yeah.
And it's not guilt.
Yeah.
It's not,
It's more like a what if kind of.
It's more than that. It's
Yeah.
in between, and guilt's not the right word. It's like a move not taken, and life doesn't give you many do-overs,
Right.
if any. But if I had a do-over there, I would have been a little more confrontational
Yeah.
with him about it, only because as someone who was in recovery, I knew something was going. There's something going on. The last time that we were physically together, he was so happy. He was so happy. And then a bunch of shit hit the fan, and a whole bunch of other crap